Look, this thing that we call entrepreneurship, a lot of people that go into entrepreneurship are not going into business. A lot of people that are going into entrepreneurship are essentially are going into self-employment.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with In-Depth Podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster. I'm excited to chop it up with you today for this episode, and I'm not alone. I'm with my main man, Emmanuel Williams. What's up, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, it's always good. I'm excited when I can get people on the show that talk about entrepreneurship. So I'm glad to have you back on the show because this ain't your first time.
Right, man. I'm back at it, man. I'm back like a chiropractor on vacation. You know what I'm saying? We in the building.
Hey, for the listeners that may have not know what you do or all the things that you do, can you tell them who you are and what you do?
No doubt, man. My name's Emmanuel Williams. Born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Went to Texas Southern University, HBCU in Houston, Texas. But I came back home and now I am the director of economic justice and development for the Black United Fund. And what my role entails at the Black United Fund is a lot of work with small businesses, really entrepreneurs, what we call emerging entrepreneurs, early stage folks from years 0 to 5 in their entrepreneurship journey. So just do a lot. I run a business accelerator called the Emerging Entrepreneur Program through the Black United Fund. In addition to that, we put on quarterly just workshops, very informational workshops for folks that are starting up. And I do just one-on-one consultations for free through the Black United Fund. Also, I have my own business,
Hey,
YPD Equity Consulting. I'm in year 6 of that. And so it started off as kind of just like racial equity training. And it's evolved into, in addition to the racial equity trainings that I do conflict management coaching. So I have a few contracts around the region, Prosper Portland, Metro, Northwest Regional Education Service District, and just other organizations that I have relationships with that I do work with for conflict management. So that's a little bit about me and who I am and what I do.
so for you first time listeners, get ready to take some notes. We'll make this fast and easy for you. And for my worldwide listeners, thank you again for keeping this show going. I couldn't do it without your support. Oh, Emmanuel,
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have you back on the show because not only are you an entrepreneur, even though it may not pay your bills, you understand firsthand the struggles because you're consulting entrepreneurs, you
hmm
provide that accelerator, and this is not an easy task that you're doing. Can you tell the listeners, for those that are, say, emerging entrepreneurs or don't have that small business, your experience, what it's like, and how can you help them?
Yeah. Well, the experience I'll talk about, like what you're saying, the emerging entrepreneur program, that 9 month business accelerator. So essentially, it's like this. So we're in the accelerator. There's a like a very competitive process that we go through. Folks have to apply, and then the top rated applications make it to the round of interviews, panel interviews, and then we select 5 entrepreneurs after that. So typically what we're looking for are folks that are like they have their business going, but they haven't arrived. They're not at like 6 figures in revenue yet, right? So we're trying to take folks from side hustle to main hustle. Now, it's not as some folks get there in the 9 months, some don't, but essentially that process what I see is a lot of the times everybody has that's in that stage or in the program, they have what it takes to get to the next level. But a lot of it is just mental and not understanding how to like systematize your business or really not even knowing the numbers, the why behind your numbers and your financials and your business, like how to be profitable. And it's just a lot of business acumen things. So I would say for folks that are in that in between stage, you're not at 6 figures, you're still in your first 2, 3 years, continue to build into yourself, build yourself up, build your self confidence, believe in yourself, right? But also get people around you that can help you understand your numbers and create systems to be able to make your job and make your life easier. Because what I notice is there's a lot of folks that are solopreneurs and don't necessarily see the forest through the trees when it comes to I need to scale. I need to have employees. I need help. I need to offload some of these tasks on the other people. And I have to trust that I can offload this onto someone else, and it's not going to be done perfectly, but it's going to get done, and they're going to free me up to do what I'm extremely talented and specifically talented to do. Because all business people aren't meant to do all the business functions, but you got to know at least a little bit to know what you're delegating, and then when you delegate it, you can manage it. So.
And it's funny because you probably see it with everyone because it's
Hmm.
like, how come? I'm sure they know this, but you start seeing trends.
Hmm.
When you said mental, can you go a little bit more into that? Because I 100% agree with you, but I have my stance, but I want to hear your stance on it.
Yeah, man, I would say entrepreneurship is just the ultimate like psychological, spiritual roller coaster. Because when it's all on you and
Oh,
it's all your fault, then you can't. Because when you work at a job, you can blame the manager, you can blame the director, you can blame the CEO, the whatever. But when it's just on you, you can't blame anybody. Even if
mm,
you're contracting to get help, or I hired them to this, if they made a mistake, did you manage them properly? Did you give them enough information? Did you make assumptions? Did you assume that they were going to do X, Y, and Z but maybe it's because they didn't get something done because you weren't as explicit as you could have been. So at the end of the day, when it's all on you, people, when you make mistakes and there's no one else to blame, it's kind of hard for a lot of folks to bounce back from that because we're not accustomed to that level of like high accountability. Because in school or whatever, we can always blame, oh, the teacher it was a hard teacher, right? Or the professor didn't care about me. In entrepreneurship, it's all on you. So being able to manage that and realize that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to not be a perfectionist, right? And it's okay to not know all things when it comes to business.
mhm.
Even people like myself with a business degree, I'm not going to know all things about, but you're always learning. So if you have that student mentality and you stop holding yourself to this level of perfection or not doing a thing until I have this mastery over it, because you're never going to be a master of all things. So just being patient with yourself and not judging yourself in the process of learning and growing. That's very
Mm.
important.
That's beautiful. And if you can keep that going, it's like playing the piano, just turn the page. When it
Mhm.
comes to for the folks that get to the next level, how do you see them transform?
And there's a level of like confidence, and it's like they look at the future and they're optimistic. They look at the future and they're at ease because when they know their numbers and they understand like not only year over year but month over month, they have certain formulas and they know like based upon this that I projected to do this. Like it's just that level of confidence and that level of ease where, like I said, they just look at the future optimistically, right? And so when you have like a um good idea of your business and how it moves forward and what you can do and understanding what your limitations are, it takes away a lot of the stress that comes from being an entrepreneur. Because a lot of the stress from entrepreneurs is just like, I don't know. I have no idea how what next month, let alone next year. I don't but but when you when you have a little bit of experience, you have systems in place, so you know like, okay, I don't have to know all the things, but I know I can the spreadsheet, this is the formula so that I can tinker my numbers and I know this is kind of a good idea of how I can make my projections and what I would need to do and so on and so forth. This is I know when I need to reorder X, Y, and Z because it's all here, and so that there's confidence in knowing and having systems that you can rely on.
Yeah. You know, when it comes to the marketing element to it, this is where I start to see where we start projecting and working on how do we, one, get clients, getting clients to keeping
Mhm.
clients, nurturing them, and having them be the golden goose to get the word of mouth where they start bringing other clients or customers or have students, whatever your field is. And like you said, it's that system, but you don't get there overnight. And what I found to add to you on that is there is that ability to delegate because you no longer are trying to do all things, be all things, and
Mhm.
do everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, delegation is everything, and we just can't get there alone. There are some businesses where you can make a good living, but I think it just kind of comes down to what is your goal? Do you just want to make it? Because a lot of times, Nate, this is what it comes down to.
Okay, okay, let's do it. Let's
Look,
break it down.
look. This thing that we call entrepreneurship, a lot of people that go into entrepreneurship are not going into business. A lot of people that are going into entrepreneurship are essentially are going into self-employment. So I'm trying to get people to get out of the mindset of I'm my own boss. That's cool, but it's honestly it's harder to be self-employed and a solopreneur than it is to have a job, to be honest. Like you know that. You know that. So the freedom and the thing like when people say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm going into business, what business is something that you can duplicate and it's something that where you can make money in your sleep and you can delegate tasks and you have other people working for you. Now there is
Yes.
also this relationship with you know big bad capitalism. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But at the end of the day, if you're going into business, the goal is to be able to have other people help you out and build your dream and operate on your business while you do one task, one executive function, or maybe two that you're extremely and uniquely talented to do, and you have the other tasks that you have other people do, right? Chef Gordon Ramsay is not going to be the greatest chef just because he cooks good. You got to be able to teach other cooks and you got to be able to duplicate. And so if we can't duplicate and if we can't scale the thing that we're building, then we're just self-employed. We're entrepreneurs, we're in business, but you're just self-employed. So that's not the goal of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is all about building a business and being able to scale and being able to have freedom.
Two things. I've never heard it stated like that. It's all facts. Self-employment is different than building a business, and I think that doesn't get said enough. The second thing to what you said in the very beginning is a psychological spiritual warfare with yourself when you are doing this self-employment, not understanding you should be building a business.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. And I know that's a whole nother rant for another conversation, but to
All right.
encourage people, it's not to say that you're doing it wrong. It's just a different mindset. And so for folks that want to get in contact with you or resources that you have for them, is there a place where they can find you or a program you can help them out with?
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to a lot of the things that I'm talking about now, just like the consultation for entrepreneurs, early stage entrepreneurs, if you're in Oregon or Southwest Washington and you want to be able to reach out and get consultations for free, email me at Emmanuel, Emmanuel at Bufor.org, Bufor.org, short for the Black United Fund of Oregon. But if you have any other additional needs as it pertains to racial equity training and or conflict management coaching, my business email address is ypdevelopment2030@gmail.com. And also visit my website, emmanuelwilliams.co, to learn more about me.
Awesome. If you just I'm speaking to the listeners out there. If you just wanting to check out the work that he's already done some work with the workshops, and where can they find that out? Like the videos, some of the recaps, some testimonials.
Yeah, all at the Black United Fund website. So BUFOR.
Man, we got to have you come back on the show because sometimes I don't think talking about this warfare and the fog of war is real for folks, and like folks just don't know where to turn to. So definitely got to have you back on. I appreciate you for coming back on, Emmanuel, man.
No doubt. It's always great coming on with you, man. So anytime, just let me know.
All right, we'll do. Y'all heard it first here at the Let's Talk Marketing here with Indub. Wish you nothing but the best. Dream big and Godspeed. I'm out.